The penultimate race of the 2024 Grassroots Big Events Racing League season and the final event for the late model stocks brings us right here to Southern National Motorsports Park for the virtual running of the 24th annual Thanksgiving Classic. Located right here in Lucama, North Carolina, this 4/10 of a mile high bank speedway has held some of the most biggest names in not only short track racing but in motorsports nationwide, including names such as Josh Berry, Timothy Peters, Lee Pulliam, and Scott Riggs. The track was also one of the first tracks to have 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson log his first laps on asphalt back in 1997. The official Thanksgiving Classic will be held on this Sunday, December 1st, and can be watched live with a subscription to RacingAmerica.tv. My name is Ryan Pittman. I'm alongside my co-host Noah Evans. Noah, what do you think about this place? I have been here several times. I've watched the Thanksgiving Classic out here at Southern National several times in a row. Last year was such a barn burner with Caden Honeycutt, Josh Berry, and Brennan Queen just going back-to-back bumping runs for the last 30 laps. It was incredible. And I have no doubt that these cars can put on such a great performance just the same this season as well.
Like you said before, this track is almost like Martinsville on steroids. You see a lot of flat tracks here in the Carolinas, such as Hickory, Wake County Speedway, a lot of smaller tracks with not as much banking. However, Southern National completely flips the script and makes this one the fastest track, not only in North Carolina, but in the U.S. As you can see, these drivers just flinging these cars in and out of the corners. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers are not only going to make their tires last, but keep them alive as long as they can.
Yeah, we talked about the interestingness and the uniqueness of this racetrack. There's not a whole lot of racetracks in the Carolinas for late model stocks that are this banked. 17 degrees banking in the corners. You mentioned like Wake County Speedway. I believe Wake County is 7 degrees banking in the corners. There's not really a whole lot. You have Hickory Motor Speedway. There's maybe 13 in the corners. This track is so unique for its speed, tightness of the corners. It's almost like Martinsville, but on complete steroids. It's almost more like Bristol for these late model stocks. 4/10 of a mile. It's about the same size as Martinsville, but with that banking, it completely changes the dynamic of what these drivers have to face.
You can see this track is definitely not for the faint of heart. As you can see the number 0 going around right there. That is Zachary Wilt. And this track is definitely not for the faint of heart. If you are a late model driver, you almost hear coming to this track and seeing it in person at how banked this track is. It is way different being on it than it is watching in the stands. So you got to feel for these drivers tonight, taking on one of the baddest and toughest tracks in the Carolinas.
Yeah, Southern National certainly is not for the faint of heart. As we see here, we're getting ready for the starting lineup as cars are getting ready to grid up for tonight's event. 125 laps. Now, the Thanksgiving Classic, I believe, this weekend, like we've talked about, is 200 to 250 laps. I can't remember which one, but tonight, these drivers, all 14 of them, I believe, are going to be experiencing 125 laps. One set of tires, and I can assure you, those tires are going to be beat by the end of this race. The track is slick. The temperature is hot. These drivers are going to have a handful, as we saw in practice, going around this 4/10 of a mile facility.
Absolutely, and we got to talk about Connor Knowlton. Missed the Myrtle Beach 400 last week, and he's now here tonight, starting on the pole position. Won it by about 5/10 over Brennan Forseal, and we saw how strong Forseal ran at Myrtle Beach Speedway last week. Going to be interesting to see what these top two can do. We're going to go through the rest of the lineup here. Zachary Wilt is going to be in the 3rd position in that number 04 car. Matt Bortran is going to be in the 4th position in the 00. Starting in the 5th position is R.J. Williams. He had a tough week last week at Myrtle Beach, starting in the lead, spinning out, coming back up through the field, and just missing out on another win. And it's good to see R.J. back. Riley Mauricio is going to be in the 6th position. Dawn Hayes is going to be starting in the 7th position. Kyle Flynn is going to be 8th. Evan Amick in the number 77 machine is going to be in 9th. Chris Fleming is going to be 10th. Ray Andrews is going to be starting 11th tonight. Marco Baruch in the number 99 is going to be 12th. Pete Woodrum is going to be 13th. And Brian Johnson is going to round out this 14-car field here at Southern National Motorsports Park.
Pace car lights are off. We're going to be bringing it down to the pit road to the hand of the field of Connor Knowlton. Brennan Forseal to his outside as you get ready for the green flag here at Thanksgiving Classic.
Knowlton stays the man up in front. He's being chased by Brennan Steele in the 04 of Zachary Wilt. Wilt looking to the inside of Steele. Can't quite get there. It's going to look like the 82 is going to clear him off the corner, and yes, he will. Second place now belongs to Brennan Steele, but Connor Knowlton is still the man up in front. And look at how smooth that number 2 car is. He knows exactly where he wants to run, and he has full control over this 14 car field, Ryan.
Early on as we go, we already have one car that had troubles. Looks like RJ Williams had trouble on the start, could not get his car into gear. He is already one lap down to the number 21 car. One of the best drivers here tonight, already suffering from some technical difficulties here at Southern National.
He fought for the field last week. Looks again, that's starting a lap now. Going to be tough to see how he can do it. And look at this Hornet's nest back there with the 0, the 00, and the 69 of Riley Maricchio. That is a Hornet's nest back there. And if you're that 00, you are not at all where you want to be, because now you're under threat from the guy behind you. That's the 39 of Chris Fleming. This is going to be tough to see what that 00 can do, but right now he is holding his own and trying to hold off that number 38.
Yeah, we talked about how dominant the inside line is, and if you can hang a driver out there, that could be a very skilled driver, like we know the number 0 of Matt Verdran is. Although on that outside line, there's not really a whole lot you can do until you get down to the bottom.
Yeah, there's some point you have to give up that position and know you can fight back. And right there, you can see he gets right back to the inside line, and he's going to take it. He's now going to try chasing down the 69, so it's going to be odd to see what Verdran's going to do, but right now, he is holding his own and is right back where he wants to be, Ryan.
Looks like all cars have found their way in line. They're all single file all the way out through the racetrack, and this is kind of like what we see here. Again, the track is hot. The right tire is going to slick off. This is the chess game that these drivers have to play. How hard are you willing to drive right here? Now, this isn't like a track like Myrtle Beach that absolutely shreds the tires, but what you're going to see here is because these cars have so little throttle that you're almost tempted just to jump right back into the throttle. In a way, you almost can, but the car can stick out really easily on you here at Southern National Speedway, and that is going to be the opportunity that some of these guys are looking for to try to advance their position.
Absolutely, and for Steele, going to look to try to get to the inside there. Can't quite get there, and Knowlton is rolling the Steele right now. Let's go on board with the number 82 machine. You can see when you have control, you can run anywhere you want to. Not only that, but you can control the guy behind you, make him go where you want to go, and try to lead him, make a mistake to get a gap to him. But right now, that's not working for Brennan Steele, and he is almost to the rear bumper of number 2 of Connor Knowlton, Ryan.
Yeah, this race is still early in the running, but these guys want to go out there and set the pace, as Connor Knowlton has been known to do in races past. Connor Knowlton out to the front, Brennan Steele hard on his back bumper, looking for third is going to be 04 Zachary Wilt, looking back to the bumper of the 82 as well.
Zachary Wilt has had a bit of a quiet third place now. He's done a good job staying up there so far, starting in the third position, hasn't made any progress so far. But he's staying patient, and that is exactly what you want to see out of a driver. It's just patience. He's waiting for the 82 or the 2 to make a mistake. You can see he's using the 82's aggressiveness to try to get the 2 as his own basically way of getting up to the front, saying, I'm here for the second position, and I'm here to show that I belong up front here at Southern National.
Things were getting real close for the drivers up front with the 82 and the 04. Things were getting quite close, and I'm sure the driver of that machine was looking to be a little bit further back. We have a battle for position. That is the 0 of Sean Hayes and the 00 of Matt Verdran. Sean looking to see if he can get back down to the inside of the 00, hanging him out to the outside, looking to see if Chris Fleming can get through.
Yeah, this lap car is going to play into it. That's the 27 of Justin Walbring stuck on the outside there, and that looks like that's going to play in favor of Matt Verdran as he's going to grab that inside line again and is right back to where he wants to be, leading the 0 of Sean Hayes. The 27 contact with the wall, going to keep it straight for right now. This is an excellent battle here for two really good drivers, Sean Hayes and Matt Verdran. Keep an eye on this 5th and 6th place battle for the rest of the night, Ryan.
Absolutely. Back up at the front, looks like we only had a 3-wide situation there for 3rd and 4th. As we look back a little bit farther, the 82 Brennan Steele got shipped down just a little bit. Now he's looking back to the back bumper of the 04 to see if he can reclaim those positions lost.
Hey, I bet you $100 Matt Verdran is the most frustrated driver in this field right now. He has been hung out to dry more times than I can count, and he is so far making it work extremely well on that outside. He's able to hold his position, just not able to hold it for long. Is now Riley Maricchio is now up into the second position, and he's trying to hold off Zachary Wilt again in the third position. But Connor Knowlton just so far a dominant lead right now. Let's keep an eye out on what this 2 is going to do for the rest of the night. Is he using up his tires? Is he staying conservative? It's going to be interesting to see the strategy that this number 2 car has, Ryan.
Yeah, he's up to just short of a second lead ahead of Riley Mercury, and you kind of wonder, once again, you kind of establish that lead. Now you can kind of set your own pace. You don't have to push the tires. You can adjust your gap to the driver behind, and that can actually really help you on the long run, gauging how hard you really want to run. Let's go ahead and go back through the starting for through the field right now. Connor Knowlton continues to be the leader. Riley Maricchio is on the hounding of the number 04, who is currently in third, and Zachary Wilt. Matt Verdrain sits in fourth. Brennan Facile in fifth. Sean Hayes in sixth. Chris Fleming in seventh. Kyle Flynn in eighth. Ninth is Evan Amick. As you see once again, the number 21 of RJ Williams. There's Evan Amick there. The 99 of Marco Berube is in 10th. 11th, Ray Andrews. 12th, Pete Woodrum. We talked about RJ Williams, who's in 13th. And 14th, Brian Johnson.
Going back up front, it is Connor Knowlton. He's the man up in front, and he's holding off Maricchio and Zachary Wilt. And that's a great battle to watch right there, as these 2 drivers are just trying to stay patient, make the other driver make a mistake. But we can't forget about the double zero, Matthew Fordran. He's now in fourth. He made that outside line work, and he's now the sole holder of the 4th position. Let's see what this double zero can do, as he's now leading that 4-car breakaway right there. And Fordran finally prevails on that outside line, and he is going to be in the 4th position now, trying to take down Zachary Wilt and Riley Maricchio.
Brennan Facile under fire for the number 0, Sean Haynes as well, looking back for that position of number 5. This is the kind of stuff that you're going to see from these drivers all night. If you can get under a guy, you've got to hang him to the outside. If he's a good driver, he can get shuffled all the way to the back. And again, that outside line is not friendly to that right front as well. That's going to hurt you on the long run.
Absolutely, and if you're in the 80, 20 worry too much, you have a pretty decent gap to the next car behind you. That's Kyle Flynn. You have Chris Fleming behind you, so you got to make a decision here. And you can see where Chris Fleming is running. He's looking high, looking low, trying to fall in with anybody. Anybody who really has some momentum. And you can see here, he's going to try to get a nose for the 82. Whoa, way loose goes 82, and Fleming just all the way down to the inside line, and a big wiggle there from the number 82 of Facile, and that's going to shake things up a lot here at Southern National.
It's going to separate its field for the 6th position. They're all back once again, single file line. And again, this is just nothing new as we start to see some lap traffic coming into the fray. That's the 27 of Brian Johnson there, hung to the outside. Connor Knowlton, who was our leader, he started on the pole, has fallen back to 3rd up here at the front.
Take a look at Maricchio, the man up in front now, and Zachary Wilt has stayed patient, and he's got himself up into 2nd now. He stole it from Connor Knowlton, and this 04 is just staying about as patient and as clean as he can. Look how close he's getting to the bumper of the 32, or excuse me, the 68 of Riley Maricchio, and that 04 is just right there. He wants that lead so bad he can taste it. He is almost to the bumper contact between him and Maricchio, and it looks like the 04's patient is run out, Ryan.
Only a mere 36 laps into this 125 lap event here at Southern National, and things are kind of starting to heat up. Patience is starting to wear thin. This is more laps than most of these drivers will get in a standard session here on iRacing. These are some of the best here on the platform.
Wilt still in the 2nd position, about as close as he can get to the bumper of that. Nika Weiss thinks a caution flag is going to come out. And let's see what that's for. Any car going around.
I believe we may have the number 37 of Kyle Flynn. Let's see if we can see, or the number 22 of Kyle Flynn. Let's see what happened here.
Ooh, very good. Is that off? I didn't know. Take a look.
Oh.
Big loose there.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle Flynn just got a little bit loose coming off the second turn, and the 21 of RJ Williams just wasn't able to check up like he thought he might have been able to. And
And
around
you
goes
can
the
see the
22.
20 yeah, you can see the 22 got a little touch of the apron there, so doesn't look like too much damage for the 22 of Kyle Flynn. Still an unfortunate spin for the rookie here in the Grassroots Big Event Racing Series. We're going to see what that 22 can do to try to fight his way back up through this very, very tough and competitive field so far here at Southern National. It looks like the 27 of Ryan Johnson is going to get the free pass.
Yeah, I would assume the 27 would probably be getting the free pass here. And that's kind of the thing about these late model stocks. We talked about they don't have a whole lot of horsepower to kind of power through some of the advantages that you would have in a tour modified or super late model. The thing with the late model stocks is if you break any kind of momentum, there is such a time loss in that breaking of momentum that if there's a guy that slips up in front of you, you really don't have the ability to really check up a whole lot. Otherwise, you've lost so much time, you almost just have to kind of hope that guy saves it in time to where you can just roll right back into the throttle as soon as possible.
And that's why reaction time is so important in not only short track racing, but in any racing series. You know, you have moments like that. They're going to wake you up a little bit. They're going to scare you a little bit, but you've got to be able to react on time to not only preserve your car, but to preserve the guy who's either spun out in front of you or has lost a lot of momentum. So it's going to be tough to see how this 22 is going to fight his way back up through the field, but right now, does it look like he's going to be coming down pit road to repair any damage? So Kyle Flynn is going to try to keep his nose clean for the rest of the night here, but take a look at the 21 is going to be on pit road. That's RJ Williams. See what kind of damage he had. Looks like he's going to be on pit road using more than likely what is his quick repair. No, he's getting tires, Ryan.
I think RJ Williams, the mechanical gremlins that he had, I think are going to continue. I think he has officially dropped out of the race. Not entirely sure what kind of those gremlins happened, but it's been an early night for RJ Williams.
Not the nice thing we're going to have for that 21. It's been back-to-back heartbreaking weeks for that 21 team, and RJ Williams looks like he's going to be out again, but looks like pace car lights are going to be off here at Southern National. Ryan, why don't you lead us back to green?
69 Rally Mercury brings us back to the restart zone here at Southern National. Lap 42 in the books, going on 43. The green flag is back in the air for the 24th annual Thanksgiving Classic here at Southern National. Riley Mercury getting out to a heavy lead. RJ Williams. Connor Knowlton on the inside of the 04. Zachary Wilt looking to see if he can hang that 04 on the outside, trying to get the power down off the corner. It's a little bit loose there going into one.
Riley Mercury still the man up in front. Wilt trying to hold off the two of Connor Knowlton. We know how good Connor Knowlton is on that inside line, but right now, it just doesn't look like it's working for that two cars. You can see the momentum that the 04 has coming off the corner. One more lap like that, and that might put the 04 in the second position. Looks like he's going to try to clear the two. Their contact with the wall for the 04, and he's going to grab second position as he is now on the rear bumper spin. Caution flag is going to come out again. Here at Southern National, let's go back and take a look at that.
You're talking, I was getting ready to mention how deep the 38 was getting down into the corner. I think he might have just not been able to react to a checkup from the number 00 of Matt Verdran getting into the third turn. 00 going around.
That's about as good as the save that you can get on that 00, and he's lucky those barrels are there, and doesn't look like there'll be a lot of damage on that 00, but like you said, that 38 was diving it very, very deep into that corner. And let's go back and take a look at kind of how all that came about, if we could.
Yeah, see if we can maybe see. Should be the 38 that I have here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, we're already under caution. Yeah, it looked like the 38 just nowhere to really check up, and that's what we kind of talked about with how fast these cars roll into the corners. That the time that you have is really not much to react to something like that.
Absolutely, and let's take a look up front at the 69 Rob Mauricio. He has stayed patient all night, and he's gotten himself in a position where he can win this race, but he has the 04 Zachary Wilt behind him, and I don't know if I'm Zachary Wilt, my patience is starting to run out here, as you've been in second, you've been in third, and you have not had even a sniff of the first position all night long. You've been right there getting it, but you just have not had any time or any way to get there. Going to be interesting to see how Will is going to handle that. And take a look on pit road here. There's the two of Connor Knowlton taking tires early. Going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out for that two machine, Ryan.
Well, I think this is a little bit of a play that Connor Knowlton has kind of been known to do, is kind of shake things up a little bit. Now it's 48 laps into a 125 lap event. So as the other drivers come down, he's going to cycle back up to the front. If he can just sit there and ride in the back and just be careful and not overuse those tires, he can make him last for the last 75 laps.
It'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out. And Knowlton, like you said, has been known to shake things up, and definitely an odd strategy choice, but it gets back up front, and I believe that's all he really cares about, is being in that first position. So it's going to be interesting to see how that two is going to perform in these newer tires, and we'll see if he can slice and dice his way up to the front, Ryan.
Looking to see here, I expect probably to see the pace car lights out here momentarily, as we are getting to 1 to go here from the flagman.
Mauricio, still a man up in front. Zachary Wilt to the outside. Sean Hayes and 99 of Marco Barub. He stayed really patient, and that is a very quiet fourth place right now for that number 99 machine. Going to be interesting to see how he can handle this up-front pressure. Going back green. Mauricio, never mind then.
Yep, looks like the...
Staying back green.
Got waved
Now
around. And sometimes that happens in short track racing, where maybe the starting or the order is not exactly where the race directors need it to be. So once again, the pace car lights are out. Let's try to bring them to green once again.
Mauricio now going to this time lead us to green with Zachary Wilt to his outside, going back green at Southern Avenue. He's going to get up front now. Take a look at Sean Hayes. A good start, a good restart for that number 0 car, diving down in the turns number 3 and 4. He's going to now have the second position, but Zachary Wilt hanging with him on that outside line.
That's where you're going to see that number 0 of Sean Hayes, as you mentioned, absolutely diving it down into the corner, trying to establish the advantageous position of that inside line, making sure the 04 is relegated back to third.
Hayes is back up in the second position. Zachary Wilt now is in third. Brennan Purcell, Marco Brute, that's going to round out your top 5. Mauricio still staying in a very fast car he still has right now. I don't believe he pitted on that last cycle, so it's really interesting to see how those tires are going to hold up. Look at Kyle Flynn there, one of the other cars that pitted alongside the two machine of Connor Knowlton. Take a look at Knowlton now. He's into the 5th position, getting past the number 99. And that number 2 car is hungry for that lead once again. And that car right now blazing fast as he's going to try to chase down the 82 of Brennan Purcell.
We talked about the 2 of Connor Knowlton, how much he was going to be willing to try to save those tires and get back through. It looks like we have another... Oh. Man, that was close for the 2 of Connor Knowlton. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but somebody got spun around off the 4th turn. Let's see if we can take a look back once again. It's a little bit ahead of the number 2 as we saw.
Looks like the leaders going around, and a great save there by the 69. Take a look at how he just keeps that car going straight here. The 0 dives it a little bit too deep into that corner, and that 69 keeps it going straight, makes contact with the 0 again. And it looks like Sean Hayes got a little bit too aggressive there, Ryan.
Yeah, that is not the sight that number 0 wanted to see. Engine smoke coming out of the front of that car. That is most certainly going to be a faster pair. Now, we do have the advantage of 1 faster pair in this series. You have everybody 1 mulligan. So I'm sure that number 0 machine is going to be making his way down onto the pit road and claiming that 1 faster pair that we have in this series.
I would make a joke here about modern day Cadillac reliability. That 0 coming down pit road, but so far he's been one of the most consistent cars all night long. As Connor Knowlton going to assume the top position, or assume the front row again. He's going to be alongside Zachary Willett. This is going to be a clash of the Titans right here, Ryan, as these two cars have been the fastest all night long.
Yeah, and here's the thing is Connor Knowlton, that timing of that caution was really quite advantageous. He was on the good side of that incident there and was able to make it through those guys that were in front of him that he was battling for, got caught up in it. Now he's going to be in second, and not only that, he's got the tires, so I'm sure we'll probably see the 04 if he's going to stay out or if he's going to pit. But that 04 is still going to have to, at some point, I would imagine, pit for tires here.
This is exactly what the 04 Wilt wanted to see as well, and he's now got the first position, but he's got a very, very hungry 2 car right behind him in Connor Knowlton. And Marco Brube and Ray Andrews are going to be in the 3rd and 4th positions. They're going to be interesting to see how these guys handle this upfront pressure here, as they're going to be row number 2, and Kyle Flynn and Evan Amick once again going to be in row number 3. So going to be awesome to see this battle up here, as once again, like I said, a clash of the Titans with Zachary Wilt and Connor Knowlton up in front. Ryan, let's lead us back to green here.
As we make our way down the back straightaway for one final time, actually the pace car lights are back on once again. I think these guys are having a little bit of trouble establishing their positions before we go back green. So we're going to try it one more time. Let's see if the pace car lights go out this time by. As we are almost exactly halfway through this event, 63 laps down. Through 3 and 4. Zachary Wilt, Connor Knowlton through the restart box, and we are back green once again here at Southern National. Zachary Wilt jumping up, almost trying to clear the 2 on the inside, but now he is going to establish that front position. Connor Knowlton go back to the back bumper.
That 04 can finally breathe a sigh of relief, as he has now gotten the lead. It has been a long, long fight for that 04 to get up front, but he's got a very, very fast number 2 of Connor Knowlton right behind him. And look at the 99. He's holding position relatively well. That he started in the 4th position and restarted in the 4th position. And he's now holding 3rd. He's got Kyle Flynn to the 22 behind him. But Zachary Will has built up a decent lead now, about a 0.6 of a second gap between him and the 2 of Connor Knowlton. It's going to be interesting to see how this 04 can hold his ground.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing the way these kind of drivers get through the corners. You can kind of see Zachary Wilt maybe sweeping up in the middle of the center of the corner just a little bit every now and again. See that tip, he's off the exit much sooner than you see the number 2 of Connor Knowlton.
And so far, it looks like it's working. As that guy's going to go down just a little bit, but before this, he had a 0.9, almost a second, with the gap between him and Connor Knowlton. And Zachary Wilt so far doing a great job. It is a hornet's nest back there for 3rd position, almost 3 wide there, as Kyle Flynn now going to try to get to the 3rd position, and that is a place where you do not want to be right now. Look at the 69, almost setting it 3 wide into turn number 3. And Ryan, that is what you call a hornet's nest. He goes 3 wide and spin. Caution flag is going to come out, and that's the 51 of Ray Andrews going around on the front straightaway. Let's see if we can go take a look at that. And he's going to collect the 38 as well of Chris Fleming. Let's go back and take a look at that. Oh, the 0 again.
Looks like the 0 trying to get down into the corner and just sweeps up middle center of the turns 3 and 4. As it, once again, you talked about 38, Riley Murcio, or 38, just nowhere to really go, just getting caught up in that incident.
That is incident number 2 for the 0 machine tonight, and that is incident number 1 for the 51 and the 38. As looks like only light body damage for those 2 cars. So look for Andrews to get back right, as the field's going to head on by those 2 cars. Looks like Andrews is going to be in the pits.
Yeah, I'm sure looking for a fast repair, no doubt. Looking to see if anybody's going to be taking their tires here. That 04, I don't believe, has come down to serve or take serve in those right side tires.
and I'm shocked that that '04 has done as well as he has without pitting so far, and he's done a great job of holding off Connor Knowlton as well, and that is just textbook racing there for Zachary Will. He stayed patient, but that has allowed him to let these tires last a lot longer than they should have, and he's able to hold off guys with, what, 10, 15 lap old tires? Textbook driving there from the '04 of Zachary Will.
Absolutely, you see the number 07 or 00 on the track of Matt Verdran getting his lap back here. But yeah, that's kind of the thing we talked about the '04 and how long you can make those tires last. Now you can make the tires last the full distance, and if you get enough caution laps, you can stretch that tire life out a lot, because one of the biggest things in these late model stocks is building up that heat in the right front or left rear. And if you can manage to keep the heat out of those tires, they really do last a surprisingly long time here in the sim.
Brennan Steele is going to be in the second position. It's been a bit of an up and down day for that number 82 car, as he's gone from back to front and once again back to front, as he is now in the second position ahead of Connor Knowlton. And let's see what the 82 can do with, once again, good track position. I believe the 82 is pitted already. Let's see what kind of tires that number 82 machine is going to have on him to the 99 of Mark Brew coming off the pit road. I believe pace car lights are off. We may go green, or we may hold off green.
It looks like we may be going green once again here at Southern National. Number 04, Zachary Wilt getting onto a head of steam as the 82 goes out to the outside, does not get the start he really needs. That allows the number 2, Connor Knowlton, getting down to the inside once again. Number 69, Riley Maricchio, looking to see if he can close that door, as well as number 22, Kyle Flynn. The 82 getting absolutely hung out to the outside. Now I'm sure he's going to be able to make this work for just a moment. But that right front, as you mentioned, is going to start to get hot, and it's going to be harder and harder to battle down to the bottom.
Maricchio back up in the third position now, and it's been a fight for that number 69 to get back up front after an incident earlier on where he was spun from the lead. And he's now looking to clear the number 82 of Brennan Steele, but take a look at that 22 of Kyle Flynn. It's been a bit of a quiet day for that number 22. He's staying somewhere in the fifth position most of the day. He's fought his way back up. He's gotten new tires. He pitted it on the same lap that Connor Knowlton did. So let's see how that strategy is going to work out for that number 22. But right now, it is all Zachary Will up in front.
Looking at these drivers as they come off the fourth turn, just how absolutely close they get to that outside wall. Just trying to use every little bit of this racetrack. We talked about the horsepower in these racing machines as Connor Knowlton looks down to the inside once again, trying to dive bomb into one on the 04. Zachary Wilt not able to make it that time by.
It looks like Wilt's going to hold this position, and look at how impressive that number 2 is, right to the bumper of the 04 of Zachary Wilt, and that is exactly what you want to see if you're Zachary right now. Just clear track ahead of you, but you have a Mustang in your rear view mirror of Connor Knowlton with those beautiful foam numbers on the side of that machine. And right now, that is not a picture you want to see near the 04 of Zachary Wilt.
And this is where Connor has to be really careful with trying to navigate around this 04 machine, because if he makes a mistake, that number 69 of Riley Maricchio is there to capitalize. And once again, if you get hung out to the outside, as that number 2 car could potentially be, you could be sent to the back as well.
Interesting breakaway here. Knowlton looking for the lead down the inside. He waited for that 04 to make a mistake. He got it. Connor Knowlton now trying to get the lead now. And here comes Zachary Maricchio in the number 69 machine, getting down to the sideline. And the 04 going to get hung out to dry down the front straightaway.
Will trying harder to try to make ground on that outside and maintain that second position, but I do not think it is going to work out for the number 04 machine, as Riley Maricchio getting down to the bottom once again, getting a little bit loose. That might be the opportunity the 04 needed off the corner, not able to make it work.
Knowlton is the man back up in front. It's followed by Zachary Wilt, Riley Maricchio, and Brennan Steele. That's a 4-car breakaway and almost a second gap between him and the next car, which is the 22 machine of Kyle Flynn. And this is a great breakaway up in front. Knowlton, he has a lot of experience up in front here, and he is putting all to the test. And I looked into the inside. Here comes Riley Maricchio can't quite get there and close the deal off of turn number 4.
It's one of those things at the track like this, it is really tough to pass, but if you can just apply just a little bit of pressure and just enough pressure, you can make that 2 possibly make a mistake. But that number 2 machine of Connor Knowlton is one of the best in late model racing and really short track racing on the iRacing platform. It is going to take a beast to try to get him to shape.
Knowlton still up in front. He is followed by Ryan Mauricio, Zachary Wilt, Brendan Steele, Kyle Flynn almost 3 seconds back now. He's under threat for the double zero. But right now, this 4-car breakaway is full of a lot of great drivers. And Mauricio staying patient, trying to chase down that number 2 of Connor Knowlton. And Knowlton, the fastest car now on track with a 14.878 lap. And that 2 just blazing fast tonight here, Ryan.
Mauricio almost tried to look down to the bottom, thought better of it once again, just trying and trying harder, maybe trying to offset your entry into the corner to try to get a little bit lower off the exit of turns 2 or 4. Just nothing there for the 69.
Knowlton staying patient, staying cool, calm, and collected. Mauricio looking for any mistake that 2 can make, so that is a very, very rare thing for Connor Knowlton to do. Looking down into turns number 1 and 2 again. That 69 feels like he can get there. He just can't quite close the deal down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4. Knowlton might have slipped up there. Still can't get there as that number 69 still looking for the lead here.
Riley Mauricio trying everything in the textbook of short track racing to try to get there. Now, the thing about these late model stocks is they do not bump very well in the iRacing platform as it gets loose off of 4.
Little bit loose there. That's gonna open up the gap just a little bit more. But look at how fast that 69 closes back in to Connor Knowlton, and that might be where Riley Mauricio finds his, I guess, sweet spot to get back up to the lead is in the slipstream with the number 2. And look at how close these 2 are tangoing right now as Knowlton now under serious pressure from Riley Mauricio.
I think at this point the 69 knows he's quicker as the 2 gets loose once again off the 4. He knows he's quicker. He's just got to capitalize on a mistake like that. Just try to run inches off the back bumper of the number 2 machine and see if you can stick your nose in there when the 2 makes a mistake.
That might be the save of the night for Connor Knowlton. It's right now, Mauricio knows how loose that number 2 is, and he's going to try to use every time he gets loose to his advantage now, as we are almost to 28 laps remaining here in the Thanksgiving Classic. Here comes Riley Mauricio looking for the lead off of turn 4.
69 getting loose, trying to get that throttle off the 4th turn and try to get under the number 2 machine. I think this is kind of the patience of that 69 that we've seen. He's been patient, but that is going to be wearing thin momentarily with the number 2, as he has done a great job trying to keep it tight down on the bottom. As long as you do that, it's going to be pretty tough for Riley to get around him.
About 30 to go is go time now. It is with 27 laps to go. You can see contact between the 69 and the outside wall on the back straightaway. As that's going to open up the gap just a little bit more. Lap car now could play a factor into this. That's the number 27 of Justin Walbrink. But right now, Knowlton trying to stay patient, trying to stay calm and collected. Look at how close that number 69 has gotten to the rear bumper. He knows that the 2's loose. He knows that those tires are starting to wear down. It's going to be interesting to see, Ryan, how that number 69 is going to handle this.
And this lap traffic may be the factor that the 69 is looking for to see if that'll just kind of shuffle up the focus of the number 2 machine of Knowlton. See if maybe he can just kind of start looking out the front, trying to navigate around that lap traffic and maybe just slip up just a little bit out of one of these corners.
We saw how this 22 got there in 3 and 4, and that might play a factor into this, especially for Connor Knowlton, as loose as these lap cars are and as old as their tires are. And look at how just smooth the number 2 machine is. As you can see, making contact with the wall again is Connor Knowlton, but right now he is under serious pressure from that number 69 of Ryan Mauricio.
Back down into the corners. I think once again we've seen the 69 try to offset his corners, trying to change up his line, trying to anything he can in the textbook of late model racing to try to just grab an advantage, but it is so tough without using that front bumper that you'd love to do. But we talked about how difficult it is in the iRacing platform to bump in these race cars. The problem is the way the front nose of this race car is so sloped and the rear end is so high in the back end of the other car that it just basically picks up the rear wheels off the car. just the slightest tap will send the car in front around.
And we've seen that a couple of times tonight. It's very easy to be over-aggressive with these car, like we saw with the zero machine a couple times tonight. But Connor Knowlton so far has warded off every attempt for the lead that Riley Mauricio has made now, as we are just under 20 to go here in the Thanksgiving Classic, Ryan.
This is probably the closest battle on the track, these front two cars here. Let's try to go back through the grid real quick. We might have a second. First is Connor Knowlton. Second is Riley Mauricio. Third is Brennan Forseal. Zachary Wilton fourth. Matt Bertrain in fifth. Sixth is Pete Woodrum. Seventh is Evan Amick. Eighth is Marco Barubio. Ninth is Brian Johnson. 10th is Kyle Flynn. 11th is Ray Andrews. And 12th is Chris Fleming. 13th, Sean Hames, who's out of the race, and RJ Williams in 14th. Back up front, Connor Knowlton continues to lead the field with a hard charging Riley Mauricio behind him.
Mauricio has stayed patient. He knows it is go time for the lead. The gap has opened up just a little bit, but lap traffic is up ahead. We're going to see if that'll play any factor here in tonight's race. In an unfortunate race for that number 38 machine. Looked like he had the lead a couple times. He's going to go down to the apron to avoid these lap cars, and he's going to go around. The 38 is going to spin here. That's Chris Fleming. Caution flag is going to come out, and that changes everything here in the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National.
Man, we were talking about that lap traffic and what it was going to have for the leaders, and that was the shakeup that Connor Knowlton was not looking here. It looks like maybe the 52 got into the wall, and that might have offset the 38's entry into the corner. The two of them getting together.
Yeah, it looks like the 38 just couldn't slow down in time. Went around in the marbles on the bottom of the corner.
See if maybe we can
shake things up a lot.
See if maybe we can take a look from the front nose of Connor Knowlton. So once again, they try to get around this lap traffic here.
Yep, there you go. Exactly where it starts here.
I think it's on this lap.
Yep, you can see it right there, contact between the two, and split the middle there. Wow, that close there. That's within mere inches between him and the rear bumper of the 38 of Fleming. That is not what Connor Knowlton wanted to see here with 14 laps remaining here in the Thanksgiving Classic.
That is how quickly things can shuffle up here at the front. Connor Knowlton avoiding near disaster as Fleming goes around off the full turn.
A tough sight to see for Connor Knowlton, as he did not want to see that iRacing pace car come out on track once again. And you're going to have to hold off two very, very strong drivers, Mauricio and Forseal. Ford Duran is going to be back up into the fourth position in that 00 machine. So going to be interesting to see how a lot of these very, very hungry drivers are going to handle one last opportunity to try to win this race tonight with almost 10 to go.
Now, Noah, I think this could almost, in a way, be Connor Knowlton's saving grace if he plays it right, because now, while the leader does have lane choice in this series, the cars second, third, fourth, and so forth back do not. So Connor Knowlton, assuming he chooses the inside, Riley Mauricio is going to be having to choose the outside, which is going to leave Brennan Forseal back on the inside behind the two, and therefore could hang the 69 out to dry. Now that's assuming the 82 gets a great start and does not let Mauricio down, but that could be a saving grace with the number two if the two of them start battling hard.
Mauricio has been a great starter, like you were saying earlier on, if this could play into his favor. So it's going to be interesting to see if Forseal will get a better start here. He's got a great shot at the lead now, but the 69 has been a great starter all night long. He's got a lot of positions on the start of these races. So it's going to be an excellent restart here to watch. This is great cinema right here in Southern National, Lupama, North Carolina, as pace car lights are going to go off for hopefully one last time here at Southern National. Ryan, lead us back to green.
Connor Knowlton's led most of this race, but now is the time that he has to put his stuff to work, put it to use at the number two machine. He's down to the inside, to his outside is his best friend Riley Mauricio down has come off the floor, back to the green flag here at Southern National.
A great start from Mauricio. He grabs that second position, almost clears to 82, and he's got it. Riding Mauricio, a textbook start for that number 69 machine, and he is right back to the rear bumper of Connor Knowlton here.
Brennan Persil getting absolutely sideways loose off the fourth turn. Now he's going to have under fire of the double zero. The double zero jumping out to the outside of the number 82. Let's see if he's able to make it work. It does not look like he's going to get there. Back up front once again is Riley Mauricio, as we are 3 wide for third and fourth and fifth here at Southern National.
It has become a hornet's nest in the back of the pack. Caution flag coming out again. That's the 27 of Justin Walbring going around. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened there.
Let's see what Brian Johnson might have seen off his camera here. It looks like the 22 of Kyle Flint, who is outside 3 wide situation down the back straightaway. Oftentimes does not work here. And I think Brian Johnson just, clipped the apron just ever so much and around with that car.
Unfortunate for Brian Johnson there. That's the second time he spun tonight, but that apron has been the cause of the last 2 race-changing cautions. We saw the 38 of Fleming go around, and now Brian Johnson going around on the apron. So that is definitely not where you want to be if you were any of these drivers right now. So Connor Knowlton now is going to have to defend his position once again from Mauricio, and that was about as good of a start as you could get if you were that number 69 machine, Ryan.
Yeah, the 69 was able to force his way back down to the bottom, just ahead of the car that was behind him, and that was the definitive move, going down into one to clear yourself and make sure you get back behind Knowlton, because if he didn't, I really don't think there was any chance he could have got to him.
Mauricio has stayed patient, and that's been the name of the game for him all night long, and Knowlton now has his hands full, as like we saw it on the restart. It was like hornet's nest for the third and fourth position, and it played in favor of Matt Vorndran. So let's see what possibly what that double zero can do, assuming that Knowlton chooses the inside once again, which more than likely he will. That's going to put the double zero Dodge Charger of Vorndran right at his rear bumper. As a great view here from the iRacing pace car. We are more than likely going to be one to go in the final 5 laps of this race.
Now you do see the 2 machine. It looks like he is starting to have just a little bit of connectivity issues, as we see just a little bit of fair blinking from that race EPI number 2 of Knowlton. Hopefully that hangs on here, because that could be trouble for the drivers racing behind him. We talked about how close you have to be when racing somebody in this late model stock, and if they're blinking and you don't know where they are, well, things can come together in a hurry.
Absolutely, and that is not what Mauricio and Vorndran want to see, is a pile up here. It's just under 2 laps to go here. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Looks like pace car lights may be off. Noah, you going to bring us back for what could be the final time here at Southern National?
Absolutely, Knowlton, the man up in front, Mauricio to his outside. We're going to go back green one final time. Green flag is out at Southern National, hopefully for the final time. Knowlton to the inside of Mauricio. Mauricio, a great run around the outside. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
Mauricio trying to make that outside line work and maybe pinch the 2 off the corner. 2 has a slow run off the corner. He's back down to the outside. We are white flag in the air. Mauricio trying desperately to hang on to the outside. Connor Knowlton back up to the lead once again. They are door banging, bumpers banging off the 4th turn, but it is not going to be for anything as Mauricio tries to cross him over, but it's Knowlton collecting the Thanksgiving Classic for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League here on iRacing.
And a late race switchback move from Ryan Mauricio almost paid off, but it's going to be Connor Knowlton picking up the win here at Southern National Motorsports Park, and that is another win under the belt of the number 2 machine.
Connor Knowlton, win number 9 on this series for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. The final race for the late model stocks here at Southern National as we get ready for what will be our final event for the Snowball Derby down in Pensacola, Florida, in the super late models for another 125 laps. But tonight is all about that number 2 of Connor Knowlton and the race EPI Deuce.
Textbook drive from Connor Knowlton. He's going to pick up the win tonight at Southern National, and you could not have driven a better race than that. And that was just pure dominance from that number 2 machine. And if you're Connor Knowlton, you have got to be proud of that drive.
And that was the thing, is the number 2 and the number 69 of Riley Maricchia, the amount of respect they had as the 2 drivers racing for the lead, and to not take each other out here at Southern National is ever so impressive, as easy as that can be in these late model stocks. They did it cleanly, and they had one heck of a finish.
And that last restart there could have ended in pure disaster. The 69 could have just taken out the 2. The 2 could have run him up into the wall. But like you were saying, the respect between these 2 drivers paid off tonight. And it was a nail-biter finish all the way to the end here for the Thanksgiving Classic.
Let's go ahead and go back through the finishing positions. Connor Knowlton claims a victory over Riley Maricchio in 3rd. Brandon Furseal, 4th. Matt Verdrain, 5th. Zachary Wilt, 6th. Pete Woodrum. Evan Amick finishes in 2nd. Marco Berube finishes in 8th. 9th. Kyle Flynn. And 10th. Brian Johnson. 11th. Ray Andrews. 12th. Chris Fleming. Sean Hayes finishes 13th. And 14th is RJ Williams, after experiencing a technical failure, does not get the night he wants nor needs in the number 21 machine. Well, Noah, it has been a pleasure, and what another incredible race for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. We look forward to next time as we make, once again, another trip to the Five Flag Speedway, a half-mile facility that is legend known for super late model racing, and that, I'm sure, is going to be one heck of a show.
Absolutely can't wait for the Snowball Derby, and that race always puts on a show. It's going to be exciting to see the final event of the Grassroots Big Event Racing Series as we go down a Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida for one final time this season.
Well, for the streaming platform, I'm Ryan Pittman alongside Noah Evans. That is going to close us out for tonight here at Southern National for the 24th Annual Thanksgiving Classic. Good night and take care.